Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we're going to go over the Royal Rumble. Was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And, there's an old saying, Papa Vicious taught it to me when I was a kid. It was, limit your expectations and you're never going to be disappointed. And I walked into the Royal Rumble with very few expectations because I had no idea what to expect, considering this was one of the big four being on in Saudi instead of it being a standalone Saudi show. And I gotta say, I was not disappointed. Now we're going to go over the matches, but before we do, we got to go and talk about on how we pay these funny little gimmicks called bills. So first things first, folks, we are WWE Shop affiliates. So what that means is, if you go and click the link in the description tab, or if you are watching the video, see that QR code right there on the screen, you scan that. You scan that, John, it takes you to WWE Shop. You go there, you make a purchase for whatever item your heart desires. You could get one of those $500 championship college belts, or you could go and get a $20 t-shirt off the clearance bin. It don't matter, get whatever you want. Because with our affiliate link, what that means is we here at the Vicious Studios receive a small nominal commission from said purchase, which in turn we use those proceeds to help improve the show. And folks, I don't know if you've noticed, but our camera isn't lagging like it was. Our audio has actually improved. Wade has actually gotten a chance to go and do something productive with his life and be useful on this show. I saw that. Folks, it is a godsend. I kid you not. And here's the kicker. I'm going off script here. I'm going off the reservation letting you guys know this. If you have discount codes, you could still use them. If you got a discount code for 10, 20, 30, 40% off, free overnight shipping, whatever, you could still use them with our affiliate link. I say go for it. So yeah. Also, folks, speaking with affiliates, we are also affiliated with the Pitbull Skull Shaver. It is, without a doubt, the most versatile and one of, if not the most important tools in my grooming kit, because if you've seen the videos, you saw me on Twitter at Tim Vicious all the time, you guys know I am bald. And that's okay, because bald is beautiful, and I make sure I stay bald and beautiful thanks to the Pitbull Skull Shaver, because with its sleek ergonomic design, it slides right into my hands. Built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery, folks. This thing is waterproof too, so I run this thing when I'm in the shower. I turn that on, I run that son of a gun on while I'm in the shower. 60 to 90 seconds. 60 to 90 seconds. Roughly. That's what it takes. I want you to really think about that. How often can you say you get a really good shave within that amount of time? Never. Not only that, you avoid the scratches, the cuts, and the irritations that you get using those plastic razors that you get from like the drugstores and all that jazz. And while it's cool watching it, seeing the guys bleeding buckets of blood from a death match, folks, let's be honest, nobody ever wants to go and look like that when they're shaving. So with the Pitbull Skull Shaver, you don't have to go and do that. You go and click our link in the description tab. You can go and not only get the Skull Shaver, you can get all the accessories that you want to go with it. And here's the beauty part. Those replacement blades, they only need replacing roughly about every 6 months. So I want you to think about that. You could roughly two, like 2 to 3 blades is perfect for a year. That's it. And the Pitbull doesn't just work on the head. No, 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 no. You got unsightly arm hair, get rid of it. You got underarm hair that you don't want. You can go and get rid of that. You got nasty chest hair on there. You can get rid of that. And with with spring coming up, creeping its way roughly around soon, if you need to go and trim Bielowski, it's good for that too. Wink, wink. Pitbull Skull Shaver. Make sure you guys check it out. And folks, I want you to really think about this for a minute. If I'm putting my name behind this product, that means I really trust it. I would not put my name behind it if I didn't trust them. So, now with that, also, the OG way to help support the show outside of telephone, telegram, tell your best friend to go and watch, like, and share the show is through some Vicious Rants apparel, much like what I'm wearing right here. You can get Vicious Rant shirts from whatamaneuver.net, folks. I kid you not. Some of the most comfortable shirts out there. Oh my God, I love these things. I love these things. It is so, so comfortable. And you know, they are, without a doubt, a perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or if you know need to get a shirt, need to get a piece of clothing to go and give to some charity organization, so that way you can go and hold on to your shirts that mean the world to you. You may have a concert shirt from 20 years ago that means the absolute world to you, right? Your significant other is telling you you need to go and get rid of some of the clothes. How about we start with that shirt? All you gotta do is say, oh, okay, babe, hold on one sec. Whatamaneuver.net, Vicious Rants, boop. Go and get a shirt, and folks, there you go. Somebody in need gets a Vicious Rant shirt, and you get to hold on to that special shirt of your own. Whatamaneuver.net. Go and search. We are Vicious Rants on there. So with that said, let's get into the show. Royal Rumble in Riyadh. Come off sounding negative, and I swear it's not meant to. It's just the way it's going to be worded. I get I get with the Saudis. I get they have certain laws about women and, about women and their outfits and things of that nature. I get it. I do. But let's rewind the clock back a little bit, shall we? To when they first started this. The greatest Rumble ever over in Saudi. I want you to think, not one woman was on the show. Fast forward 2 or 3 shows later, they had Renee Paquette actually doing commentary. Then they actually had a match. Then they actually had women doing marquee matches. Now we got one of the major 4 PLEs. Oh, and guess what? The women put on not just a show, but a hell of a fucking show. And I absolutely loved it. Now, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss were actually 1 and 2 to start out, which I dug because the old wrestling nerd and, showing my age, being the old man and such, brought back memories of Demolition, them both starting off the Royal Rumble like, whoa, okay. Well, goddamn, pal, anything can happen in World Wrestling Entertainment. So Lexi and Charlotte, they just look like, okay, and then they teased and taunted each other like, oh wait, I could have put you in that DDT. Charlotte takes down Bliss, goes to hook her like, I could have got you in the figure 4. Kind of teasing back and forth like that for a bit, which was cool. And then Kiana James was number 3, and then that's when the action really started to pick up. And Soul was a big surprise. Soul Ruka was a big surprise. So was Lola Vice. And I gotta tell you, I popped with Soul, not just, and not the, you know, dirty old man kind either, because, well, this is me, but more so because I dug Soul's outfit because it was like a core memory unlocked. It reminded me of this one girl I used to chase after all the time every summer when I went to the Warp Tour. Wait, does that still make me sound like a creepy old man? Oh, fuck off, Wade. It's not supposed to. God. I swear I need new producers. Or at least competent ones. Either way, Lola and Soul were two big surprises. Had a nice little haha moment spot when Chelsea Green, when she got in there and I thought that was pretty clever. She got in there, next thing it was, oh. And the way she actually fought to keep from being eliminated, she got off the apron and Alba Fire got down on all fours. So that way, Chelsea was standing on her while holding on the ropes, like, my feet aren't on the ground, my feet aren't on the ground. And then she eventually got eliminated. And I'm going to say this about with Chelsea. People want to go and give balls because apparently with the Unreal, oh, Michael Hayes doesn't see Chelsea as a top star like a Charlotte or this or that. No, she sees her as the one that they go to before that. Okay, so you're telling me that you see Chelsea as the queen maker, so to say. And that's a bad thing? Because, I mean, dude, think about it like this. She's getting TV time. She's getting major buku TV time. And I see no downside on that, But either way, also had a surprise entrance with JC Jane. And JC Jane, I popped with that because it was just, whoa, okay. That was cool. And then, unfortunately, Nikki Bella. Yeah. Don't look at me. I didn't book this, but apparently somebody thought it was a good idea of having Nikki Bella. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just yawn? I was thinking about the Bellas. Either way, then we wound up also getting a surprise from Kalani Jordan as well as Bray. So yeah, both Bella twins are back now. Joy. But also, big surprise was Tiffany Stratton came out at number 30. Tiffy time is back, folks. And good. It was good. It was a good show. I dug it. I absolutely really did. Also, I couldn't help but laugh because Jordan Grace, God bless her, that girl's got a wicked sense of humor because after the Rumble, she put a thing out there doing a joke with her and a bunch of the other girls doing like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers thing, making a joke about their suits all looking like the Rangers. But either way, the final four came down to it was Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Sol Ruka, and Tiffany Stratton. And I really was pulling for Sol. I really thought she was going to win, especially given the way that she was getting pushed with NXT, good and hard Sol 2 belt, and getting all that massive TV time with that. But Sol wound up, Liv wound up, or no, it was Tiff got tossed out by Raquel, and then Raquel wound up getting tossed out by Liv Morgan. After that, her and Sol had a small back and forth for a minute until Liv wound up hitting I don't know how else to put it, but almost kind of like a ring apron oblivion where she held on to the rope and then Soul slingshotted off the apron and hit the ground. And, excuse me, and Liv wound up winning. So your winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, Liv Morgan. And she officially announced Monday night that she's going to be challenging Steph. Well, she didn't officially say it, but it looks like it's been set. She's going to challenge Steph because after Steph's street fight with Raquel on Monday, she beat her up, grabbed her title, held it up. So it's looking that way. So we just got to play the waiting game and see. Next up, we had Gunther going against Uncle Alan, AJ Styles, and this is a hard match to talk about right here. This was AJ's career was on the line and had a nice good feeling out on it. At the start, Gunther, he was leading the pace with AJ fighting it almost kind of like, I don't know how else to describe it, but it kind of reminded me of Rocky 4 when that one scene where Rocky Balboa was fighting Hulk Hogan when he was doing the Thunderlips character. It seemed like that, like Rocky versus Thunderlips. I don't know why. It just gave off those kind of vibes to me, like maybe it was because of the scrappy underdog or the height difference or something. I don't know, but it did. But at one point, AJ got slammed onto the table hard on the outside, caught a nasty gash on his arm, and you could see it, like it looked nasty and gnarly looking, and it was bleeding pretty bad to the point ref gloved up. So if the ref gloves up for it, then yeah, you know that's something serious. They ain't doing that for just a fat lip. But wow. Gunther won using AJ passed out from the sleeper. So within the course of 1 month, we as wrestling fans on a whole have officially said goodbye to John Cena, Tanahashi, and now AJ Styles. Wow. Wow. It's a lot to take in on that one. Just wow. I mean, listen, it took over a year for me to finally process Jushin Liger being done, but wow. Just, yeah. The 3 all-time greats who, no doubt, respectively, have all earned Hall of Fame worthy a Hall of Fame spot in their respective corners in the wrestling world. There's no doubt on that, but just I don't know how else to describe it. Just man, that's something. So next up we had Sami Zayn going up against Drew McIntyre for Drew's WWE Championship, and Drew, he was leading at the start, targeting Sami's back. Sami, he was stumbling, doing the comeback like he was. When I say stumbling, I don't mean like tripping over his own 2 feet kind of way. Like anyone that's ever had major back pains would understand this, but like moving like he's weighing the pros and cons of trying to move, like kind of deal. And I dug it. I dug that, and I dug the story that the match was telling. I thought it was good. Drew wound up getting the win, hitting not 1 but 2 claymores back to back to get the win. So to Uncle Dave, who once decided to put out as a snarky little comment saying, Drew has won titles, but nobody's ever paid to see him defend a world title. Well, suck it, Dave, because guess what? They did. So, yeah. Now we come to the men's Royal Rumble match. It starts out with the ruler, Obafemi. Who? Oh yeah, that big old bastard. He came out, and Braun Breaker was set to be number 2 to come out there and compete. But before Braun was able to get into the ring, Masked Man came out, attacked Braun, threw him against steps, popped him with a super kick, and then hit him with a stomp, and then threw him in the ring. The bell rang, and then Oba just threw him out. Oba did I think they said like the first 5 eliminations of the Royal Rumble, but man, Braun's 6 different kinds of pissed, and he is really ready for blood on this one. But either way, outside of that, some of the other big surprises was Solo came out as number 3, which then that was nice to see because I'm just looking like, that's a fight right there. Oh, fuck. Ooh, let me get some popcorn for that. You know, Mr. Iguana, he was a huge pop for me. So was La Parka. And, folks, I am flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted because we had not 1, but 2 El Grande Americanos in the Royal Rumble. We had El Grande Americano, and then we had original El Grande Americano. We had El Grande Americano and El Grande Americano Dos. Huh. I am so confused here. Also, big shout out, big hype. The fact that Powerhouse Hobbs is now officially in WWE. He's now going by the name Royce Keys. And probably the funniest takeaway from him being there now is how all the hardcore AEW fans are now shitting all over him because, oh, he debuted at the Rumble. He only lasted X amount of time. And then he got tossed out, blah, 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 blah. All the while, this guy debuted on AEW. And he got to do this, and he got that, blah, 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 blah. Dude, they're 2 different shows. That's like comparing if somebody just started college football and they did really good there, and then compared to somebody who just started pro and is working there. Really? And I'm not saying one company is college football and one's pro, but I'm saying it's like comparing apples to rutabagas. They're 2 completely different things, you know? As much as they are the same, they're also 2 completely different things. But either way, really cool to see Hobbs with that. Like I said, we had Iguana and La Parka. I loved seeing that. You know, me and my boy Kid Vicious, he popped with Mr. Iguana, so did I. I popped something fierce with La Parka. I dug that. I was just praying. I was hoping for Psycho Clown, but you know, given what the Psycho Circus is going on with down in AAA, I'm not surprised. Still kind of questioning where Pagano was though. You know, now that I think about it, but it's a story for another day. Either way, Cody came in and started locking eyes with. Cody came in, locked eyes with Brock when Brock was in there. Again, biggest takeaway from the Royal Rumble weekend was the fact that Brock Lesnar knew how to use FaceTime and FaceTime Pat McAfee to tell him he was going to be in the Rumble. But Cody squared up with Brock right off bat. Them 2 went at it. Gunther, he was number 30. Brock what part that got me was also with Brock was when Ilya Dragunov, the mad fucking Russian, he's throwing chops at Brock, something wicked like Wham! 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 Brock's just looking like, boy, do you know who you're hitting? Do you know who you're hitting? He just laughs. Next thing you know, boom, pops him and then throws him over like, okay. And people want to get mad on that, but guys, keep in mind, Brock Lesnar is a monster. He's not just a monster, he's a monster that eats other fucking monsters. How are you going to book him to be able to take an ass beating that legitimate? I get Ilya is a badass dude. I'm not arguing that. I'm not denying that. But you're telling me you think Ilya would right then and there, at that moment in time in the Rumble, would legitimately beat the piss out of Brock Lesnar? Just... either way, Gunther was number 30. And so then match went on. Final four was Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, and Gunther. Had to think about that for a minute. And Roman wound up tossing out Logan Paul. Thank you, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Gandhi, Zeus, the guy who tried to sell me some Mormon stuff the other day. Thank you, all of you, for making sure Logan Paul did not win. Either way. And then Gunther wound up and then Roman tossed out Logan. Gunther wound up tossing out Randy. And then it went back and forth with Roman and Gunther for a minute. And then eventually Roman tossed out Gunther to win. So your winner, your tribal chief, and mine, the OTC, throw up the ones for the one and only Roman Reigns. And folks, Monday night on Raw, he did make it official. He called out CM Punk, and he officially said he is challenging him for his WWE World Championship at WrestleMania. So, Roman Reigns is now set to make history, main eventing in WrestleMania a record 10. That's right, a record 10 times. No one else has done that. No one else has done that. Main eventing 10 times. I think the record before him was, I think, Hulk Hogan with 8. I could be wrong. If I am, by all means, feel free to say something in the comments. But, yeah. So, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm looking forward to Mania with Vegas. So, yeah. Let's see where this goes, folks. And with that said, that is it for this week's show. Wade, fix the volume. So, like on normal, if you're watching the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. If you're listening to this on audio, share it with your friends. If you feel we've earned the 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave it there. Share the audio. We're trying to build that up. Also, folks, thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of May, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats right on the Twitter, DSB_IV, main event _net, the main event account. Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, D Dryer 1986. Folks, I am Tim Vicious out there on all those socials, and like I always tell you, you love me, great. You hate me, shut up and sit down. Fuck yous.